we're gonna do Arrival. So
yeah, we literally just got done recording our review of Nocturnal Animals, so make sure you watch that video as well. Like, dislike, share, whatever you want to do. Any suggestions, any movies you guys want us to watch and review or shows. Let's get into Arrival.
Arrival. It is a God, I would not watch another Amy Adams movie if Nocturnal Animals wasn't so good, because this was shit. And I knew it was shit because it had such a high score on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh, let's not jump into what you feel about this one. Let's first get into what this movie's about for the people who haven't watched this movie. Plus, this review will contain spoilers, so click off this video if you don't like spoilers. So,
what's it about?
Yeah, what is it about?
Aliens arrive in spaceships at 12 locations around the world. They need to find out what they're there for. And it begins as a very intriguing study in linguistics. And I think that's the right word. And working out with these aliens, what they're there for, and their purpose, and discovering their language. And they felt like an authentic alien species that you were really discovering along with the characters. And then it turns into deterministic bullshit in the last third of the movie.
Well, Amy Adams, in this movie, she plays some sort of, like, professor.
Girl power. She's the best professor ever, and better than all the other men.
She knows how to, like, decode and decipher a lot of languages. So Forrest Whitaker's character ends up coming in her study, and he's like, what does this mean? And then he plays some, like, really vague, like,
gurgling
recording of, like, an alien, I assume, which is an alien, and, you know, he gets upset with her for some reason, and she ends up working for Forrest Whitaker, and she's leading a team to figure out why these aliens are here, what their language is, and the guy who plays Hawkeye, he's in it, and he's leading another team, and
Jeremy Renner, ugly face.
Yeah, and they're working on what's gonna happen to humanity, basically, and, you know, they go to, like, some sort of base, right? So they go there, and then they notice, like, the aliens, they have, like, this, like, oval shape.
Looks like a big rock.
Yeah, rock, like, floating. So
I kind of thought it looked like a big, like, when you shoot sunflower seeds and you get the half of the sunflower seed.
Yeah, it looks like so they end up, like, going in the actual alien thing, and they, like, there's two aliens there. I forgot what they named the aliens.
They named them Abbott and Costello.
Yeah, so that's what they named them, and they're, like, trying to communicate and teach them our language, and they're trying to figure out, and then the aliens talk back to them.
They start farting out of their hands and release fart clouds in circles.
And I think that while this is happening, like, you have Forrest Whitaker and, like, everybody in America and all around the world, humanity basically is, like, there's, like, a mass hysteria, and it's, like, I feel like that was, like, a representation of, like, the world, and then Amy Adams' character is like, no, this is what it means, this is what, you know, they're here for. And, I mean, I think it was a cool, simple premise, right? I thought it would be a good, solid film.
What bothered me is that they came to her for her expertise.
Yes.
She's a master linguist. I might have fucked up that word. I don't know if it's the right word. But, and then they just disregard everything she says.
Yeah, and they're, like, ready to, like, fight the aliens and shoot the aliens, and they end up, like, bombing the aliens and killing one of them.
This is where I knew something was up. They had a couple military guys watching videos of somebody who was supposed to be Alex Jones.
Yes.
Who was supposed to be Alex Jones, and they took his advice, and they went and they bombed the aliens.
Yeah.
As if this would have ever been a good idea in anybody's head.
Yeah, like, why would you bomb the aliens? Like, why? The aliens didn't seem, like, aggressive at all in the movie. You know, they were talking and communicating to Amy Adams, and basically, like what Paul said, I felt like it was kind of, like, stupid determinism bullshit. Like, this is the way things are gonna be.
Yeah, she's hallucinating throughout the movie,
Mhm.
like she's hearing things, she's seeing the alien in her office for some reason, and you keep seeing these cutbacks to where she saw this happen at the beginning of the movie. She's actually doing a voiceover talking to her daughter, and her daughter you see grow up, and then she gets this disease. We presume it's cancer because she's bald-headed, and then she dies. And you think that this all happened prior to the movie. Oh my God! Here's the twist. Here's the twist. This
and click off if you don't want to know.
Yeah. All this has not actually happened yet.
It's the future.
Yeah, this is all in the future. She and Jeremy Renner get together and have a kid, and this kid has the disease. Now, Amy Adams' character knows all this. What it is they have to shoehorn this little explanation in the movie that if you learn another language, you begin to think in that language. Well, these aliens are completely timeless. They don't see time as a line. They see it as just one moment. And their language helps them do that. So Amy Adams learns the language. She starts to see the same thing. She ends up learning the language of the aliens by looking in the future and reading a fucking book that she wrote herself to learn the language.
The whole movie did not make sense. It was a good premise, like 85%
of the way through.
And, like, at the end, the last 50%, you're just left with, like, what the hell? Like, what is this? Like, I was just so confused. I was left like, okay, did this not happen yet? Or did it happen?
Well, see it wasn't... It wasn't confusing to me, but I just understood it couldn't work.
I knew this movie was just horrible when there's a scene where Amy Adams she has a vision, she has like an epiphany that she's like, I guess her vision is like after all this happens, so like she's at like this big old party and she's all dressed
she's
up
seeing
nice.
herself in the future.
Seeing herself in the future.
She's remembering something from the future.
And she ends up talking to the leader of China. And the leader of China, he goes up to her and he tells her...
Remember when I was going to fuck up and destroy the world?
Aliens. Yeah.
And I saved it
and
because you told me?
This is what I told.
Yeah,
and when you called me, when you gave me that one phone call, and this is what you said.
And this is my number, by the way.
And it's just like, who would say this in real life? I mean, who would say this like in a conversation like this?
The only thing I can imagine is that he knew the future could happen all in one instant, so he learned the language himself later, I guess, from Amy Adams' book. This movie plays into the trope of, I hate to say it, white women vanity. They turn out to be the greatest thing ever that saved the whole world, and they did it with their understanding and their courage and yada 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 yada. Here's the thing, if she could see into the fucking future, if she could see her daughter got this rare genetic disease, they said rare genetic disease, then Amy Adams could realize, I can talk to myself in the past by my knowledge in the future, which is proven by her ability to know the future or change the past by being able to read her book, so she can study what went wrong with her daughter, find out the disease, find something like this, find a cure for it, use that knowledge of the cure to cure herself in the past. Well, that's all blown away because they decide not to do that, because in the conversation she had with Jeremy Renner, if you know how things are going to go, would you change them? So that means everything is predetermined. It's all predeterminism. So it's a predetermined loop. She was always going to figure out this language. She was always going to read it from the future. This whole thing was going to happen out the way it did. So there was really no point to do any of it. And the aliens' explanation as to why they came to Earth... Oh, by the way, they came to Earth to deliver 1/12 of the weapon, the knowledge, to each of those 12 locations for, I guess, the 12 nations that go to them. Then turns out that, that's nice and all, but Amy Adams, we're going to give you 100% of it, because you understand the language. You're so smart, and you're so great, and you're so perfect. And, we did it because we're going to need your help in 3,000 years. Bitch, if you got 3,000 years to fucking plan for it, how's it going to destroy you? But, if it's going to happen anyways, it's all predetermined. Why even bother to get off the alien space couch in the morning?
I didn't understand that. This movie was frankly
it becomes
really boring.
A closed loop of bullshit. I found it entertaining. I love the breakdown and the working of the language and stuff.
I did like the alien language. That was pretty neat and cool.
But here's the thing. The aliens, right? The aliens know the language, and thus they know the future because they can see it. So they know English. They could learn English. So why don't they just, bam, here's our alphabet comparison, bitch. Here you go. Right against the glass up in the spaceship and break down all the language and explain the whole thing. No bullshit, no mystery, because you know it already, so why are you fucking around? And the aliens made absolutely zero effort to learn English. They just shoot out their little fart cloud. You figure it out, motherfucker. What type of dickhead alien does this?
Okay,
you supposedly need the humans' help in 3,000 years, or you're gonna mysteriously die somehow because you can't plan to fix some fucking shit that's gonna happen 3,000 years in the future, but you know enough to just come to Earth and get shit settled now.
In other words, it was just all over the place. I liked it 85% of the way through the movie, but then, like, the last part, I just did not like it. It was just boring to me.
You need to help the humans out, so why don't you just teach them your language right off the bat and just cut to the chase?
Okay, well, let's give this a score. And I got a beef with Rotten Tomatoes, too, because they were playing the trailers and it said, like, somehow they got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Arrival got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. Meanwhile, Nocturnal Animals got 72% on Rotten Tomatoes. You know why Arrival got 100%? Because it didn't make people feel uncomfortable.
Yeah,
I'm
sorry.
SJW. Pretty much. And I don't get it. I don't get it. It was just pretentious bullshit.
It fell into that mindset of predeterminism that, oh, well, there's no effort in working or trying, and it played right into that
vanity,
that nice little comfort zone of everybody that likes to just give up on life and live off the, government because you had PTSD because somebody looked at you wrong on the bus.
Well, let's not get into all of this ramble. We're gonna stay on track in the movie, okay, baby? Anyways, I give this movie 2.5 stars out of 5.
I'd say 2 out of 5. It started out really good. It's like getting a really great hand job, and then at the end she just punches right in the dick. Here you go. Ooh, this was always gonna happen. It was predetermined that you're gonna piss blood for next week.
Okay,
ooh. Fuck this movie.